Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at different ways for simplifying some of the design patterns using the features of Java 8. In this series, we are going to look at the idea behind some of the design patterns and then review the solution for the design pattern using a pre-Java 8 version. We will look at how the solution would look like using Java 7, and then we will improve the solution by leveraging some of the Java 8 features to simplify the design patterns and thereby better express the solution by eliminating the boilerplate code. We will begin with one of the behavioral design pattern named strategy pattern. Let's take a look at the idea behind this design pattern with the help of a diagram. Say we have a context within which an operation is to be performed. Our work is to provide the logic required to complete the operation, that is the algorithm that is required to complete the operation. So typically how we achieve this is by coding the algorithm directly inside the method definition for the operation method. Okay, so now we have given the algorithm to complete the operation. So one thing is achieved. But after some time, say we found out that there is an alternate way to achieve the same operation. There is an alternative algorithm to complete the same operation, and we want to try use that algorithm in place of the existing algorithm. So to do this, we need to go to the operation in the context object and replace the existing algorithm with a new algorithm, right? And every time we need to change the algorithm, right? We need to repeat the same steps of replacing the method definition within that operation with a new algorithm. So we are getting into a problem here, and strategy pattern to the rescue. So strategy pattern we can apply to abstract away the dynamic algorithm so that it can be passed as a parameter at runtime to invoke the operation. So how we can create that abstraction? So we can create that abstraction with the help of strategy interface and also defining an algorithmic operation within that interface. So now we can provide or we can define multiple algorithms by creating the concrete implementation for the strategy interface, right? We can have as many concrete implementation for the strategy interface by providing the customized algorithm implementation for each strategy, and have them passed as a parameters to the operation in the context object. So in overview, so strategy pattern, if you can see the sample sequence diagram here, so we have the context object and the concrete implementation for the strategies, and from the context we can invoke the operation which in turn invoke the algorithm defined in one of the strategies, right? At some point in time we decided we want to change the strategy. So this time around, while invoking that operation, we can pass the concrete implementation for strategy, which is strategy 2. So we need to note that while we can invoke any of the strategies, the end result will be the same, but how the operation is completed differs for each algorithm. At large, right, strategy pattern helps to represent and use a family of algorithms to solve an operation. So we will take an example and where we can apply the strategy pattern. So let's take an example, right? A typical example is to sort a data structure. Sorting a data structure can be done with multiple different algorithms. So there are different algorithms to sort. So we can use, say, strategy 1 to use bubble sort for sorting the data structure, and alternatively we can use another strategy, insertion sort, to solve this same data structure. Now let us check the implementation of strategy pattern to sort integer array in Java 7. So we have the context object which consists of the input int array and also an operation, sort operation, which accepts a sort strategy as a parameter, and within this sort operation we are invoking the sort strategy sort method and passing to it the given input, and we also can see the sort strategy interface, which defines a single operation, right? Single algorithm that we will this strategy applies. So we have two custom implementation for this sort strategy interface. We can sort the given input array by using a bubble sort strategy or an insertion sort strategy, right? So now we will test this code with help of a test method. So this is a method which we wrote, right? We have the context object, and now we are passing to it an input array to be sorted, and assigning it as an input, and then we can invoke the sort operation and pass to it a instance of a implementation for the sort strategy. Here first we will try to sort the given input array by using the insertion sort strategy, right? And we will try to run this. So you can see the final output is a sorted array, right? Now if you want to change the sort strategy and use bubble sort instead of an insertion sort, all you need to modify is the changing of the the sort method parameter to use the another implementation for the sort strategy, which is bubble sort. Let's run this. It should give out the same response. So likewise we can modify or change the different implementation that we can use to perform the operation, right? We can pass along the different algorithms by just giving to the operation as an input the instance of the custom implementation for the sort strategy, right? If you observe, actually these strategy implementation classes, bubble sort and the insertion sort, so it consists of only one method, which these implementation classes implement only one method, right? Which has the logic to sort the given array, right? Only piece of thing that is being used in this class is this particular one method, right? But since we are trying to provide multiple implementation for a given algorithm by implementing this strategy, so we are being forced to create classes actually for each strategy, each sorting strategy. So right, if in the future we want to try out another strategy for sorting, right, we would also have to go and create a new class, and that new class in turn will have only one method within it. Actually, only piece of thing that is needed or required from this implementation class is only one method. And consider a enterprise application, right? So if you are creating a class just to represent an implementation method for a strategy, and for every algorithm, right, we are adding on to the number of classes, right? That would become a big problem with respect to maintenance. As the number of classes grows, and maintenance also will grow, not to forget about the coverage, etc., that comes up with the project maintenance life cycle, right? So these there should be a way to avoid the need to create these classes just for the purpose of implementing this strategy, right? So we could avoid using these each class for each strategy, right, by using an anonymous class implementation. So we will have written one more test method, right, where instead of creating a class and creating a class for the sort strategy implementation and then passing it as an instance to this sort method, we could in turn effectively write an anonymous inline class definition by writing a implementation for the sort method right, and invoking it as an anonymous inner class to the sort operation. So as you can see, we are creating classes, one for each strategy, just to provide an implementation for the algorithm. And we could avoid creating these classes, of course, using anonymous classes to avoid creating these classes for representing strategies. But as you saw previously, right, the code would look like a clutter actually, and it also gets difficult to read the code, and the readability of the code will be affected. So in this area, right, can we try to use or apply any Java 8 features to improve this piece of code, the code implementation for strategy pattern, which is done in Java 7 actually. As it turns out that in Java 8 there is a concept known as functional interfaces. So functional interfaces is an interface which consists of only one abstract method. So functional interface is a concept where we can which can facilitate the mechanism to pass code as a parameter to a method, as opposed to passing an entire instance of an object or a primitive value as a parameter to a method. We could even pass method themselves as a parameter. So this is functional interface is a concept, right, belonging to the programming paradigm, functional programming, where methods can be passed as a parameters. I mean, the code which a method represents, right, the code itself can be parameterized and used as a function method parameter. So we call this concept known as behavior parameterization, where as opposed to passing an entire object as a parameter to a method, we can pass code containing in a method as a method invocation argument, right? So how we can pass code as a parameter by to the functional interfaces in like two ways actually. Either we could pass the method to a functional interface by expressing the code inline using lambda expression, or else we can use a concept known as method references, where we can pass a method code containing in a method as a parameter to another method invocation actually. So let's see this in action, right? So to the sort example that we had earlier, right? So I have already written a test class where we can use these concepts from Java 8, right, to avoid eliminating that to avoid reducing the boilerplate code that is associated with Java 7, right, where we had to create classes for each strategy. So we have the same context object, input, etc., and we are invoking that operation. But if you observe here, right, we are passing the lambda expression, right, which is like a method. This is like a code containing in a method. We are passing it as a parameter to the operation, as opposed to the earlier example in Java 7 where we are sending, right, the instance of a class. But here we are passing the method lambda expression as a parameter. So this is through, if you go with this way, right, we can avoid creating a new class just to represent one algorithm, right? So with the help of lambda expression. So this is the way we can do. If I run this piece of code, it will also give the same output, right? Similarly, we can change the sort algorithm inline by passing different lambda expression as opposed to the one which you have given. So this is the implementation for a bubble sort, right? We can effectively replace this with insertion sort by just replacing the code in the lambda expression. So this also effectively runs the same runs same operation and then gives the same output, but in turn it effectively uses a different sort algorithm actually, because here through the lambda expression we provided a different code, a different algorithm as a functional parameter to the sort operation. This is all possible if you see that, because sort strategy is an interface which is having a single abstract method. So this is effectively a functional interface. So since this is a functional interface, we can pass wherever the sort strategy interface is used, we can assign to it either a lambda expression or a method reference. So here in this case, the previous example we are seeing right now, so we are passing a lambda expression as a parameter, because the sort method accepts the sort strategy, which is a functional interface, and since it's a functional interface, we can pass either a lambda expression, right? Here we are seeing the code where we are passing a lambda expression. So this is one way, but if you see, right, if the lambda expression gets large, right, with containing a lot of code within it, so this also will run into a problem which I faced earlier with respect to anonymous classes, right? Code clutter to the readability gets impacted. So we can improve this with by the help of passing method reference as a parameter to a sort operation, right? We could extract this piece of code into a method and then have that method referred from this sort operation as a method reference actually. So here is that piece of code. So I have extracted that algorithm for each operation, right? Bubble sort as a separate method and insertion sort as a separate method, and have them refer in the sort operation as a method reference. So first I am trying to use a bubble sort here. If I run this, so it will give the same output, but now instead of using a lambda expression, which is like since it has a lot of lines of code, right, it's not totally readable. If you extract this to a method and have it referred as a method reference, right, so this is somewhat more readable actually, and we can see it is giving the same output actually. You could exchange we could change this sort algorithm by simple way of replacing the method reference that we have used to instead use insertion sort in place of bubble sort, and this will eventually return the same result, but the underlying algorithm that you used is changed. So like this, with the help of Java 8, we can leverage the features of concepts using functional interface, which is a concept where a function, where interface has a single abstract method, and that can be assigned either lambda expression or a method reference. So in this way we can use Java 8 features to simplify the strategy design pattern. Okay, thank you for watching. If you do like my content, please don't forget to subscribe, share and comment. Thank you.